177 and Duolingo. So I'm getting better. I'm getting better slowly but sure.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
You're doing really good.
So 77, 77
Wow.
lenguajes.
No, 177. 177 days. But, you know, I grew up speaking it when I was young, but my parents stopped and then had to sort of regroup and learn it again, as it were.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's not so easy later.
It
sometimes.
is, and you have to practice.
Yeah. It comes so natural when we're kids.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to learn it and understand it, the connotations and even the slang words and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Carlos, where are you talking to us from?
I'm talking to you from Burbank, California, from my little office.
Okay.
And,
all right. All right.
How is it over there?
Weather's great today. You know, I actually did a voiceover job at a place called LA Studios with the protocol in place, entered through the back, one person at a time, take your temperature, brought my own headphones, been doing work from home in my home booth, and my daughter's been doing work as well. So we're good. You know, it's as precarious as everywhere else. And what area of you're in Los Angeles as well?
No, we're in sunny Florida.
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 We're in La Florida right now.
Cerca de Tampa.
Tampa Bay area.
Yeah. It's nice over there. I've been to Tampa to play the Improv years ago.
Oh, wow. The one in Ybor City?
Is that?
Yeah, the one right downtown near where, right downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great area.
There's a great steak restaurant there. I was there for a con the last time I was there at the convention center.
Burns Steakhouse or
it's right by the Improv.
Fleming's?
No, it's a family-owned one.
Burns Steakhouse.
Yeah, it was very good.
It was in Hyde Park.
Yes.
Yeah. That's, oh my gosh, I remember. That's so old, that place is.
I know. I loved it. Yeah. I loved it. And hopefully we'll get to go back and everything will open up in 2021, it looks like, you know, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, right?
Hopefully, right.
But you know what? What you do is kind of, you're an actor, right? In Reno 911, but you also do a lot of voices. So for you, probably the voices you could do them, you know, if you have your own studio and so forth at home. So that doesn't disrupt you too bad, thankfully, you know. But
no,
I know for the acting part of it, it's probably a little bit different.
I'm very lucky. Voiceover seems to still be going. There's protocols at some studios that try to open up, but yeah, having a home studio, which I had to modify. There's a company actually in Florida called Sweetwater that I ordered a couple of extra, you know, things for my booth to make it sound ready and microphone ready. And without spending too much money, now I can record, and the engineers do a lot on their part to keep you going. So yeah, I've actually had quite a bit of work since I adapted my booth. So it's been great.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
Well, you know what? It just kind of catapult. It's kind of like a catapult for certain people too, for certain things that when you have something that you can actually focus on more too, and because when you're home, hopefully you can focus more too. But with your kind of career and some other careers too, you know, it hasn't been too bad. So for that we're grateful because we do things from home too. So you know, you gotta try and be creative these days.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm going to try to send you guys a review of our film. If I send it to myself at Carlos Alazraqui. Hold on, and then I'm going to try to transfer the link to the chat.
Okay.
And the movie is called. Let's see. I did send it to myself, didn't I? Let's see. I sent it. I'm going to go to sent mail. That's why. Haha.
The private chat.
Bueno.
Yes, I got that. I got the buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. So here we go. Okay. Apple C. Now I'm going to go over to chat and go Apple V. And this is a review of my film, Witness Infection. And you can go to witnessinfection.com. I co-wrote it with my friend from Florida. I believe from Miami, Her name is Jill Michelle Melean, and we met years ago at the Latino Left Festival in San Antonio, and we've become friends over the years. Toured together as a comic. She played my sister on Reno 911, and we co-wrote this comedy horror film about mob families and zombies, and it's doing well in film festivals. We got a good review, but yeah, that was part of the original question, is that when we're slow or when on camera's not working, you know, we find ways to keep busy and make our own projects, do voiceover, etc. So that's what we've been doing.
Sure.
That makes sense.
That's great. That looks great. So tell us more about it. Tell us more about Witness Infection.
Well, in 2016, Jill Michelle Melean and I got together. I said, I have an idea about making a movie with zombies and mob families. And Lou's idea, and she says, well, what about this? And we started to build a structure. And she's definitely the structure person and dialogue person. And we started to build a story. And then what we did is we wrote for actors we knew could play the part. So it made it really easy to write for characters because we knew who these people were. We knew how to write dialogue for them. Right. So we wrote it. We had a table read. People liked the table read. We started waiting around for a little bit of financing and said, you know, instead of waiting, I'm going to try to self-finance this, and we'll do a little Indiegogo and see what we can do and come up with some money. So that got us started right away. We didn't have to wait around. So we did another table read with the actors we wanted to cast. They liked it. And then we started shooting in December of 2018, I think. And then finished just this last June with some pickups. And actually we went in the other day to do some ADR, additional dialogue replacement on a scene in the dog groomers that was kind of hollow. So we fixed that. And, you know, we went to the Horror Hound Film Festival in Cincinnati, won Best Picture. We won at the Die Laughing Film Festival. We won Best Picture. We won some awards for directing and make practical effects at the Frostbite Festival. And we were just in the Portland Horror Film Festival. So we're making the rounds. We have some deals in place for distribution. Our movie sort of had its first premiere at a non-film festival, rather the old Latino Laugh Festival, which was created by my former roommate and friend, Jeff Valdez. It's now called the Ha Comedy Festival, and that took place in San Antonio, and that's where we had our screening. And so hopefully from that, we'll also get a distribution offer, and we're in the midst of negotiating, and we'll see where it goes. But it was a labor of love, and this particular review kind of saw it as such. Like, we really took pride in casting our people, getting the right director, filming it right, 15 days shoot, everything has to go right. And we had a blast, you know, what a blast.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And for us, for Jill and I, it was sort of an expression that Latinos can do art that's not necessarily centered on Latino subject matter. In other words, these are mob guys that are Italian, and I play a guy named Carlo Sorelli, and my son is Rob Belushi, and I'm Carlo. You're breaking my balls here. You got to help me out. So, you know,
Hey.
You sound like a natural, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm a natural. Forget about it. Are you kidding me? My wife's Italian. Get out of here, from Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know, Argentinians are Italian, right?
Yes.
Argentina, pero we wanted to say that, you know, like much like me doing Rocco or different voices, that you know, this is another form of expression that Latins can contribute to. There's obviously many wonderful Latin stories, and two of my heroes are Jorge Gutierrez and Sandra Equiwa, who created El Tigre and Book of Life.
Wow.
And, you know, those stories are more traditionally Mexican, towards what the history of, you know, what Jorge grew up with. And, you know, then I'm an artist that has Argentinian parents, but it was Americanized. And then this is the way I see the world. And so that's what we're proud of, is that we can make art of any kind, you know, like Robert Rodriguez's company, you know, El Rey, you know, Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl was one of his first films. I know because I have two daughters. But yeah, it's just about creating content, whatever that content is.
Right.
So tell us where your family background. You said Argentina, but talk about your family a little bit, the history of your roots.
But yeah, both parents came over in the 50s. My mom's maiden name is Olmedo. My dad's name is Alazraqui, which actually we thought was Basque, but it's actually Sephardic Jewish. So somewhere on his side of the family, Sephardic Jews in Spain were driven out from there, Turkey to France to Argentina.
Wow.
She married a woman named Torraca. I think my mom's sister-in-law is Carlo Maggio. So we've got Italian, Swiss, everything.
That sounds like a good mix,
That's
man.
amazing. So
Yeah.
so you know all about the Sephardic Jews from Spain then.
Yeah.
You know the history. We teach on that. It's
We
amazing.
we actually been
and we are descendants too.
yeah, for
Oh,
like
wow.
Yes.
probably like the last 4 or 5 years
About
we've
5
just
years,
kind
yeah.
of been awakened to it,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Learning
It's
the
beautiful.
roots.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
awesome that you said that. That's just amazing to
Yeah.
us because we teach on that, you know.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
So tell us how you got into all of this. You know, the acting, the voices.
Voiceovers.
All,
And then you got to do a couple of voiceovers.
and then we want some voices. You know.
Yeah. So here's a kid growing up with my dad went to British schools in Argentina, so he didn't have an accent. You know, he and his sister went to British schools in Loma, Argentina. She went to a girls' school. My dad went to St. Albans, and so they left speaking pretty much straight English. And my mom, no, you know, stop sign, no me digas, estúpido.
Oh no, I love that.
You know.
Wait, we have the same mom.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, beaches is not beaches where you go.
I know,
Beaches.
that's the worst one. Well, one of the worst
Vamos
ones.
para los beach. Vamos para el beach.
Los beaches.
No.
Para nadar, no. Las mujeres. Um, so,
Yeah.
so I grew up hearing those different dialects, and then my best friend Kevin, his parents were from Glasgow, Scotland. You know, John and Mary Henny. And I had Uncle Danny would hang around, and Auntie Liz would hang around, and she would talk like this with her voice way up here. And then I watched British comedy, so I had this menagerie of dialects swimming around me. And in college, I had a professor, Edilberto Cajucam from the Philippines, and so they used to live near the Ceremony Center, and I would go hang out with them there. And then I just started soaking up voices as a kid, and I think that was my precursor to being a voice actor. And I really didn't get into acting. I played sports until college when I did mime, and then I did some stand-up comedy. And then Rocco's Modern Life came by in '91, and they didn't want an Australian, so I tried like a Bruno Kirby type of guy. I tried like this, I'm a wallaby. I tried Woody Allen. Look at my pouch, I'm a wallaby. And then finally I just said, well, it kind of looks like this. And what about something like this where, oh, hello, I'm Rocco. And they're like, yeah, let's try that. And then cut to, yay, we're making a pilot. Cut to, it's going to go to series for Nickelodeon. And then I won the San Francisco Comedy Competition in '93. And with that and booking Rocco, I said, okay, I'm moving to Los Angeles. And that's what catapulted me into the world of everything, you know, voice acting and acting.
Wow, what year was that?
93. I moved in '94 to Los Angeles, and I was already touring as a comedian. So I was working as a comic on the road, stopping in LA, flying in from San Francisco, out of Oakland into Burbank to do Rocco's Modern Life and a couple other cartoons. And then I finally just moved in January of '94 with Jeff Alez. The weekend of the big earthquake, I took all these trips in my car. I loaded up the loft. I arranged my furniture. I went home on a Friday back to the Bay Area to get one last load. And that Saturday, the earthquake just shook everything up. And I missed that big one in '94. But I was at Candlestick Park in 1989 during that earthquake, during the Baseball World Series. So,
Wow.
That was a huge one.
Yeah.
so yeah, that's my kind of whole background. I was always an athlete, but I always loved, you know, R.I.P. Carl Reiner, you know, who I used to watch the Dick Van Dyke Show. And of course, he was Alan Brady. And I'm pretty one of the only guys that imitate Maury Amsterdam. But
that's pretty good.
yeah. So yeah, I grew up with that stuff. Carol Burnett, Beverly Hillbillies.
I love.
Oh my
I love
gosh.
Carol Burnett.
Love Carol Burnett.
Sure.
Mary Tyler Moore, Bob Newhart, Good Times, The
Oh
Jeffersons.
man.
And I knew all those shows, right? I knew I wanted to do something like that. I just didn't know how to go about it. I never thought about drama classes or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then when I came to LA, I started taking some impromptu workshops. I did stand-up comedy. I took acting lessons with the late, great Cliff Osmond was my scene study teacher. And that really, really prepared me, I think, for the Reno 911 experience, which was just going to be a sketch show back in 2001. And they decided that they didn't want to make that Fox. So we went home and thought about characters for what Ben, Tom, and Carrie said. We're going to make fun of cops. It's going to be called Reno 911. Think about a character. So, okay, my roommate was Dan Garcia from Merced, California. And Dan was like, oh, doggone it. Dan was, very, very dark complected, but he was totally country. And his wife, Linda, is Irish. And he would just like listen to country music. I'll tell you something, Carlos, doggone. As Mexican as you could be Mexican, but Dan was country. And so I thought maybe I'll name this guy Garcia after him and just be a little bit more on top of it, a little bit more rules laden, a little bit, not too sure about other cultures. Let's just put it that way. And then, of course, they paired me up with Cedric Yarborough, and then a partnership was born, and off we went, So everything just kind of flowed from one thing to the next. And in between that, in 97, there was the Taco Bell Chihuahua, which really sort of catapulted me more so the dog. But I got a little bit of publicity out of that, And it certainly had its share of a little bit of controversy, but for the most part, people seem to love that commercial, obviously, and that catapulted me into another tier. So.
It was huge. That commercial was huge.
Viva Gordita.
And Reno too was like that was a smash.
Yeah, and then of course before Reno there was this show.
Yeah. That was
my son.
I tell you what, yeah.
My son grew up on that.
All of our kids love that show.
Yes. So I was Rocco, a sweet wallaby, and Mr. Cooker, please. I don't know.
Where's Laszlo, cat dog? Hey, cat dog. And I was Laszlo on Camp Laszlo at Cartoon Network,
and a guy named Clam who's Laszlo.
Wow, that's amazing. That's just amazing. I find that amazing that you could just switch from character to character to character like that, and you have those little details of personalities and so forth like that.
Yeah.
That goes with each voice.
The job I'm most proud of, and I certainly don't take credit for the character because it's Billy Crystal's, but in Kingdom Hearts 3 and for a lot of the merchandise, I got to do Mike Wazowski sound-alike stuff. And,
that's funny where you really got to do it. And 40 hours later, you're like, all right, Sally, God, this stuff is driving me crazy. Hello, Roz. You look beautiful today. Did I say that? Oh, my God, my eye!
That was one that a lot of hours to do. And something that I'm proud of to say that, hey, I can emulate this character that Billy Crystal created, because really he does all the groundwork, right? He creates this beautiful character, and then you're responsible. Like if you go to the Monster Laugh floor at Disney World, that's me.
Hey, folks, 5 more minutes of lines. Texting you jokes. We're going to have a great time. Everybody's having a great time except for that guy.
That was one of my first jobs as Billy Crystal. When I went and saw it, I went, oh, I've gotten so much better since then. But I said, it's okay. I think people believe it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you close your eyes, you can't tell the difference, honestly.
Yeah. And of course, I was on Elena Vavalor. I played Skylar. If you saw Book of Life, I was General Posada.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we need an army.
Oh my God.
That's
I was
awesome.
the big, and then you pick yourself a feisty one. So, yeah, and that's really, again, getting back to Jorge and Sandra being so generous with their creativity and sharing it and saying, yes, be in this movie, do what you do. That's the beautiful thing about voiceover. We're granted a lot of opportunities to be anybody. So, and I luckily had that background of hearing a Spanish dialect, hearing a Scottish dialect, watching British television. So, yeah, the ability to just look like this, but to be somebody else as rendered by artists is pretty cool.
That is.
That's a
great talent to have.
A great talent, because it's not easy switching accents like that.
Yeah.
And we've even caught in movies where actors who don't speak English from England, you could kind of tell they don't stay on top of it, and they veer off a little bit,
It's hard. It's one of the hardest things. Now, for voiceover, like when you're doing a caricature, let's say on the new Looney Tunes, which is not actually the one that's out now. Oh, I played a guy named Tad Tucker, who is kind of like a Steve Irwin knockoff. Now look at this. I'm going to shine this post with this buffer, and I'm going to tuck it all the way. And it was very broad. But if I'm expected to do a real Australian, like to make you believe it's one in a movie, it's a whole different game because I'm going to fall out of it.
Yeah.
I've better luck with Glasgow because that's something I've more experience with. You know, the way the intonations, the way the letters go. Sometimes they say better, sometimes they say better.
Yeah.
And what I have more experience with, so I'm more likely to sustain that one all the way through as opposed to Australian. I'm gonna fall out.
Wow.
Unless I really, and you know, I'm doing a project called Trece, which is Filipino, and I'm learning that much like in sort of in Argentina or Mexico, that as you go up the financial status, the accent becomes less accented. So I learned that, you know, if you're going to Manila and you're going to pay for your food, maybe the lower class is going to pronounce that F as a P. You need to pay for your food, but as you go higher, that will become more of an F.
Okay.
They're, like the word to be, I'm going to visit you tomorrow. Visit would be more somebody from the street, but if you go higher, they will say visit, and it will become more of the Spanish influence and less of the Tagalog influence.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm getting coached with those types of things to really get it right, and sometimes you need to be coached a lot, even on Spanish sometimes, because you know I might miss an a, e, I, o, u. I might emphasize it just a little bit.
Repeat after me.
Yeah. You know the one that kills me on Duolingo? The numbers, 28 or 20 or hoy. It never gives me when I have I'll go hoy, 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 hoy. Ding. I'm like, really? 28, 28, 28, 28, 28. Gotta be precise. It's like, come on.
I remember for kicks in junior high, I did a Spanish class, and all I ever did was argue with the teacher the whole entire time. But he still gave me an A, which was nice.
Good.
Yeah, because he was afraid you were going to argue with
Yeah, I
him.
know, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's not how we say it.
You get an A for arguing.
Wow. So in your house, did you mainly speak like more English and Spanish, or?
Yes. When we were kids, it would say, ¿Dónde está la palita? Ellos quieren, ¿vos querés? ¿Vos querés fideos con mantecas? So we heard that. And then as we were growing older, in the 60s and 70s, I said, no, that, you know, it'll make it hard for your kids to learn English. They'll have funny accents. So just Americanize them. Just speak English. And so
a lot of parents did that. A lot of parents did that.
Yeah.
In our house, we had to speak Spanish, and then outside of the house, we could speak English.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only way. But a lot of families were afraid to have that accent, to have, you know, their children go out and maybe mix up the words, you know, and so forth. Now we can Spanglicize, right?
Yeah.
Español, Inglés, and it's not a big deal, you know, dame café, give me a coffee. It's not a big deal now, but back then it was a big deal. You know, it was like, okay, only English, you know, only English. So
The bad thing about teaching your kids Spanish is that you can't talk about them.
That's the only thing. That's
I don't know what language we can use here, but my mom used to use the quintessential expression, la plan que te parió carajo. I say la puerta que te parió.
That's good.
The clean version, but you know what movie really handled that very well was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Because they're from Brooklyn, and I think the mom is probably Dominican, and she's speaking to Miles in Spanish, and he's answering in part English and part Spanish. They just weaved it in perfectly. Where, of course, they're in Brooklyn. His last name is Morales, and the mother's like, Miles, tú tienes que, you know, llevar sus libros a la escuela. You have to take your books to school. Bueno, all right, mama. You know, so it was really well written and really well woven into. It wasn't forced onto this, you know, general audience, and was a really good depiction of how people speak. My mom used to say that all the time. Okay, you can go, pero you have to be home at this time.
Sí.
You know?
O si
Yeah.
no, olvídate.
Yeah. If not, forget it. Forget about it.
Forget about it. I wonder if the Italian mom said that. Si no,
Oh, yeah.
forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those are the Italian Cubans from Tampa. We
Yeah.
say, forget about it, pero te voy a dar uno.
Joey Coco Diaz.
So, so what kind of projects you got coming up besides the one you just told us about? What other stuff you got coming up? And is the current climate of the world preventing certain things right now? Got some things on hold or?
You know, I'm working on 13, which is the Filipino graphic novel that's coming out in 2021. Of course, The Casagrandes on Nickelodeon, based on Miguel Puga's life with having an extended family. That's ongoing, and new episodes of The Casagrandes. I play Carlos, who's pretty anglicized, but he's able to say Maria. You know, oh, guacamole, I love. And then I play Sergio, the parrot. Oh, boy, this family's crazy. No me digas. And then I play Guido Filipponio. Yeah, you're not going to finish that role. I'll have some.
Wow.
The Casagrandes, I'm working on. I just did a big guest role on American Dad. Camp Coral, which is a spin-off from SpongeBob. And I don't know about I'm allowed to say the character, but he kind of sounds like this. Them ladies are like hillbilly. Every once in a while I say the word too. And so it's Camp Coral, there's 13, there's Casagrandes. There's a new Nickelodeon project coming out that I don't know if I can say the name of, but that's going to come out soon, more later. Cool. And of course, working on my movie Witness Infection, and then pitching a show to Quibi, an animated show, which with the current climate will have some changes made, because it was a concept that was about 4 black gentlemen sitting at a cafe with a Filipino waiter, and the 2 of the members are white doing black characters. And I had a long conversation with Cedric Yarborough. It was actually during the riots and the protests and stuff. And we said, yeah, you know what? We really love these actors. We know what they can do. And yeah, are they technically, taking a role? No, they're doing the voices. But yeah, why not? Let's think about them being white characters. So instead of them like, hey, you know what I was talking about last week? Let's make him from New Orleans and talk like Ed Orgeron from LSU to go. That's his own kind of thing.
That's right.
And we sort of agreed that, yeah, listen, we don't have to recast it. We can reanimate it and have these characters now play. And that makes my group more dynamic. Now we have 2 African Americans and maybe one white guy from New Orleans and one straight up white guy, just going, well, gentlemen, you can check it out. The project is called Off the Curb. There are 5 little episodes and behind the scenes on YouTube. And, you can check it out for yourself and see what you think. But yeah, that was one of the accommodations that we were willing to make. Like, let's change. Let's make this more current. Let's be sort of sensitive to what's going on and do it right.
Sure.
But yeah, other than that, no, I'm afforded a lot of opportunities. Maybe in the movie Coco, as a book of life, they really wanted to cast people that were of Mexican descent, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. Obviously, it's a Mexican story. So my buddy Lombardo Boyar had a really big role, a nice role in that, and so yeah, those types of things I'm completely fine with. If your stories are about a certain culture, then hire the culture all the way. The writers, the producers, if you can, the gaffers, the directors, the DP. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, because then it's as authentic as it could be.
Yeah.
That's important to a lot of people. So
especially, yeah, because if I'm as an Argentinian descendant can tell a story about Italian mobsters, that's a pretty good deal on my end. So I've gotten the best of both worlds. I can, especially with voiceover, or if it's an on-camera project, I'm always gunning for that South American guy that's like, well, playing a lawyer, I would like to represent you, but at this point, I don't have the resources. Somebody like that I can play. That's authentic to a real person.
That was pretty good.
But yes, it's because of what I grew up with, what I heard, that dialect. It's and meeting other people because I always like to say that my Spanish is a version of that. When I speak Spanish, I tell people my Spanish is like, hello, I am wanting to go to the bus stop to take a bus for across the country. Okay, I understand you. You're not quite right, but pretty good. So I think that's where I am with my Spanish,
Wow.
So, but it was always about emulating somebody or somebody that's real. I think that's what makes it less of a stereotype, and it makes it credible.
Right.
That if I'm doing a character, even if it's somebody like Skylar from Let's Go Princesa, it's based on somebody I've known or heard, a real type of sound or a person.
Sure.
And so it lends a little authenticity to a character that you've never heard before. So,
Well, I played Felipe on Handy Manny. I'm a Phillips head screwdriver.
and the abuelito is like, hola, herramientas. But I always try to, where have I heard those voices before? Or Jorge Posada in Book of Life was based on a woman named Raquel, who Carlos was from Spain, but she used to have this husky voice. ¿Dónde están las niñas? Las niñas. And so I just heard that growing up. So I gave him a more masculine sound. General Posada, Maria, what have you done? I just hear my mom, I hear my neighbors, and so you just recreate that and spit it back out. So
yeah.
Hey, so besides acting and doing voiceovers, what's your passion like in comedy? What's your passion like? What hobbies do you like to do? And
back in the day, I skydived for 15 years, and I stopped in 2010 with family on the way and marriage, and I loved that. When COVID was not around, I would go to the tunnel and skydive in the indoor tunnel. But now I ride motorcycles. I ride with my friend Nacho Sericchio. We go up the coast and stop and have conversations, and that's nice. I was playing tennis. I love swimming. I was swimming again. I just got in the pool. That was my workout, my jam. So I wasn't playing tennis. I was swimming. Tried a little softball, but of course we had to stop. So I'll probably get back to that. But yeah, the most fun for me is the motorcycle riding. It's very freeing. I have a nice Ducati. It's not a fast one. It's one of their cafe racers, and it's a nice cruiser bike, and I like that a lot. So that gives me joy.
Wow.
That's cool.
And watching good television shows. Big fan of. I like the old Penny Dreadful and the new Penny Dreadful by Mark Logan. We just finished. I finally finished Friday Night Lights and a series called Alone on Netflix, where survivalists are dropped off by themselves to see how long they can survive. But yeah, those things. And swimming, dunking in our 14-foot above ground vinyl pool that we put up every summer with the kids.
That sounds great.
That's nice.
Camping in the backyard. Daddy's got to go up to go to the bathroom again, so I'll be back. Zip.
You hear the rustling in the bush.
Yeah. Raccoons like
hanging out with the kids,
Yeah. A lot of that stuff now. A lot of stuff with the familia, bike rides and basketball hoop. We pull it out to the driveway. We went out to see the poppies in Palmdale when they were blooming in May. We, we're going to take short trips here and there where it's safe, and we do a lot of Zoom stuff. We play Zoom game nights.
Hey.
I have a television in the garage, and so we can sit outside. And if the MLS comes back, I'm a big LAFC supporter, Carlitos Vela.
Yeah.
So when they play their games, I'm going to have a few friends over at a safe distance and watch those games. So that was my passion too, is going to Banco de California Stadium to watch LAFC. I really, really love that experience. So
what is your here's the most important question. What is your favorite Latino food that you like?
God, there's such good Mexican food around here. I would say there's some good Peruvian food too, because there's amigos peruanos, Giacomo and Jessica, and there's some good Peruvian food. There's a great Cuban food around here. Oh, okay. Bife de lomo at Malbec, owned by fellow Argentinians. And para el pastel or postre is panqueques con dulce de leche.
Wow.
That's my favorite dessert.
That's good.
But I like a good Argentinian steak or a parrillada with all, with chimichurri.
Do you like Cuban sandwiches?
Yes.
We do. We're the owners and creators of the International Cuban Sandwich Festival in
Oh, when I can go, I'm going.
10 years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I loved all the plantains and the rice and the Cuban chicken and I love all that stuff. And I love, enchiladas and fajitas. Empanadas, sí, como no. Hay un lugar que se llama World of Empanadas y hay un mercado que se llama Mercado Buenos Aires, cerca de mi casa. Es más auténtica de las otras o los otros, pero hay muchos lugares que ganan comida de cualquier cultura. And that's my youngest.
Hey!
Hello. You need to check.
How many kids you have?
Tenemos 2 hijas. Ella tiene 6 años y la otra tiene 9 años. Se llama Riley. Y Riley es un actor. Y,
Voices, huh?
Yeah, she's working on a Nickelodeon show. Can't do the name, but it's going to be a nice one.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. That's
beautiful
great.
daughter there.
Yeah.
Thank you. So tons of food. So the favorite one, I have to say favorite is, when I get a good Argentinian steak and a chimichurri, that's pretty darn good. But Cuban sandwiches sound great.
Yeah.
If you ever make it to Los Angeles, one of our winners for the world's best Cuban sandwich about 2 years ago was Los Cochinitos in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Los Cochinitos.
Los Cochinitos. They're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They just opened one in West Palm Beach now, so.
I will definitely.
In a while. And then we have, if you're ever in South Korea, we had a contestant from South Korea called the Tampa Sandwich Bar. They have 2 places in South Korea now.
Wow.
They won in our con. They came from.
They came all the way from South Korea. 2 years. 2 years, right?
2 years in a row.
Yeah, they were actually gonna come this year, pero ya tú sabes.
They were.
The Corona.
Me basta para.
We had to shift everything to the end of the year. So.
Yeah. Well, I hope to partake in some of that delicious food for sure.
That would be really good.
Yeah, we'll get the information to you.
Yeah.
For the festival, it's usually in March, the end of March, but we had to shift it to November 8th.
I'm typing my email. Correo electrónico.
El correo electrónico. I remember when I first heard that, I was like, how does mail run?
Corre el correo. Bueno, Carlos Alazraqui.com. Okay.
I just sent you también his email
Copy the link.
and the website.
Yeah, that's our website.
Oh wait,
Cuban Sandwich
my bad.
Festival.
Hold on.
I'm gonna take it.
CubanSandwichFestival.com.
I'm type it again. So the first one's no good. There we go.
Same with
There you
us.
go. And you know what, Carlos? I know you said you like empanadas too, because we host. We host the top Latino chef contest, and in that contest, in that contest, we usually include paella.
Oh yeah.
Ceviche.
How can I forget paella?
I'm sorry. I got it complicated. I got to complicate everything because
Ceviche, menudo, everything.
Yeah, all of it.
Great. Estaba en Madrid en 2000 y la paella acá es riquísimo. Riquísima. It's amazing.
Wow.
The paella is it's another one. Latino.
I'm sorry. I did it again.
That's a beautiful.
Oh, that's the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, maybe a year and a half.
Oh, God bless.
Hey, wow.
Parecen twine casi, right?
Yeah.
Sí, pero cerrado por 2.5 años.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Está bueno.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to share with us before we, you know?
Ask one more question.
Yeah, and you can ask one more question.
All right. Who has always been your hero and inspiration?
Arthur Ashe, way early on. I just remember reading Days of Grace and just how he handled himself and he conducted himself. Oh boy, I aspire to be that, you know, at least publicly, that level-headed. But that guy went through a lot. Arthur Ashe, you know, I have some friends. There's a guy here, and you could go to Michael's Learning Place, MYCHLS Learning Place. Ed Lynch created this place for people, mostly kids and adults with autism. He has a center in Inglewood, California, and he helps people work with their autism, tries to get them independent, encourages their music, their art, and yeah, that guy, he lost, and it always gets me, he lost his daughter, Michael, when she was 5 years old from complications from her sort of type of autism, and he dedicated his life to helping people with autism. Hero.
That is true. That is.
Wow,
He's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So, is there anything else you want to share from your heart or from?
Yeah, you know what? It's just it's kind of cool. I'm pretty lucky. It's always kind of hard for me to sort of find a niche in the Latino culture because I'm pretty white. I have this experience of, you know, Argentina and growing up blue collar American, but I'm glad that this side gets to get pulled out of me, and because it is part of who I am. And sometimes it's dormant, and sometimes it's in public storage, and sometimes I get to bring it out. And so I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying sort of being inclusive or included in the Latin community. It's pretty cool.
That's good.
That's
you know,
awesome.
we have a lot of talent, and I think that by people hearing, especially like the younger generation, hearing that that they can identify with that, right? And they can say, hey, look, you know what? He's doing it. I could do it too. It don't matter. I got a little bit of a Spanish accent right now. It don't matter. I'm gonna make it work for me.
Yeah.
I think it's important for you to embrace all of it, you know, and that's how all of us should, right? Because our cultures are beautiful.
Our colors are beautiful, and you have the whole palette. So why just stick to one? Just dip around. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm flattered, and I'm flattered that
we are so diversified as a culture within itself.
Yeah,
we have Judío, we got African American, we even have Irish thrown in there.
Oh yeah,
Italian.
Boludo, la sciuglia, porcio.
Hey.
I heard that one before, boludo.
Yeah, boludo.
That's awesome. So we also are ministers, and we always like to pray for people we interview. So if it's okay, we'd like to pray for you.
Sure.
Before we talk, and we'd love to do that as soon as this helicopter goes by.
Coincidence?
My mom, if you look her up, Nina Olmedo Jacanod, was one of the first Latin American women ordained as an Episcopal minister.
Wow.
Wow.
She became Methodist after that, but yeah.
Oh, that's
pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
I will gladly accept your prayers and blessings, though.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Heavenly Father, we just come to you in the mighty name and through the blood of your Son, Jesus, Lord. I just want to give you thanks for this time with my brother Carlos. And I pray, Father God, that you keep him and his daughters, his wife, his family, Father, all safe, Lord. Your angels surround them and protect them. They're going in and coming out, and wherever they go, whatever they do, bless him and his household with provision and favor always. And Father, always be with him. Open mighty doors for him, Father God. Doors and close the doors that he does not need to go through, Lord. And open the doors that you want him to go through. And always guide him in the light and in the true positive way, Lord, of your light, Father. Always let your voice be with him. Always let your presence be around him and his family. And bless him in all the years to come, and his children and his children's children. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, hey, now you got some friends over in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, let's keep in touch, and anything we could do for you, like even your daughter, when she starts doing more and more stuff, keep us posted, because we want to share all that positive news.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will be posted of everything. It's so mucho gusto. a conocerlo. I think so.
Sí, sí, conocerlo.
Sí, y Dios lo bendiga.
Dios le bendiga. God bless you and your beautiful family.
Gracias. Thank you.
Talk
Thank
to you
you.
soon.
God bless you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.